Okay, so somebody was asking me in one of my comment or in my Discord, just a tier list of units that you just should build, right? Who are the most important units to have built? Who should you focus on building, right? Not who should use your selectors on, not who are the best 5 stars, but just what are units that are important to have on your account, important to have built. It's a lot of damn units.
I think one that comes to mind for me almost immediately is like Red Ravi. I think Red Ravi kind of splits in a way, right? Where she's good for PvP, PvE, and some hunts, right? So
I agree. I think she is an evergreen unit that's used at the early as well as the end game. These are, I mean, if I'm putting them down here, right, it doesn't mean they're bad units. It just means they're not something where a 3-month-old player would say, hey, I can level up 2 units. Is this one of them? Right?
yeah.
He's got some uses in expos and stuff. She's useful in RTA when you get there, but not really early on. Arby is really good for arena defenses, early PvP and Guild Wars. She is insanely hard to build, so not good for new players. Bihu is relatively hard to build, not great for new players. Bologna might be up here. I think new players are going to get a lot of mileage out of her with Abyss and Rift and Nightmare Raid.
Yeah, and you've kind of got like these pathway units, or like these units that share a lot of the same gear, and obviously don't require the same resources. So I like the Sue just went live. Goodbye. You have the line of going from Montmorency to Doris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both those specialty changes use a lot of the same gear, fulfill different functions, but they'll pass along from one another and keep the other occupied. So I think we could talk about changes to Automaton Tower all day, but don't worry, Tristen, because they're changing the Automaton Tower season in 2 weeks, and as you know, that is one of the most impactful things in E7 that everyone notices. It doesn't just click and go, "What does this do again?"
Yep.
No. Oh, you gotta put Steve Pavel further. Who the fuck is building Steve Pavel?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. No, you're not even. I don't even think you're building Dark Corvus. I don't think you're building either of those really. Dizzy's not happening. Dizzy. Yeah,
Senya, I think you're building.
Senya,
arena defense, a guild war. She's going to help you out early game. She's not critical, but I think she's on par with the rest of these.
You could throw Aureus on her like any other night and get the job done. Plus, the cleanse is probably good for PvE.
What do you think about Ida?
I think Ida is a pretty good early on damage unit in the blue. Even if she doesn't, she protects herself a little bit with the skill nullifier. Makes it easier to run through some content. And for PvE, she uses soul burns really well. And you want characters, especially DPS, that use souls. Well, you're not.
Feels weird putting Ludwig down here, but he's just not a starter unit, right? I guess we could put him up here. She's hard to use.
What does that do?
What does haste do? Haste does damage, heals your entire team, puts a buff on the team that heals, lets your team heal itself, gives defense break on 2 of his skills, and does high damage.
You mean misses a defense break on 2 of his skills? Rift isn't up. And,
he's Fire Eater, right? When you need a good damage dealer, he's up there. Okay. Charles really doesn't have a use.
I'm about to say, I don't even think anyone's. You might as well put him in. Can't get.
Elfelt can't get. Elvira's niche. Amelia you can't get. Jacko you can't get. Hua Young's not used. She's not used. She's not used. Wukong's a must build. Janua's a must build. Asaria's a must build. Krau is a solid knight, but really almost everywhere Krau's used, Crozet's probably better. Kane is useless. Queric's hard to use. Kairon's hard to build. Judge Kisei's very hard to build. Ken's got some limited uses as a Wyvern 13 assist, but and his dual attack and defense breaker are nice, but I'm not sure I'm willing to put him up here, but he does have more uses than people give him credit for, especially being an HP scaler. Makes him bulky. Land takes good gear. LRK is hard to build. limited. Oh, God. We'll come back to Lie. I can't think about her right now.
You can't get. You're not really gonna get Landy, are you? Like,
should we just do a tier for
listen, this character's limited, and you're not really. I mean, can you
Wow.
get
Fingers
limited
on the wrong
characters
keyboard.
off of the selector?
Only the paid selector in the shop, and
Okay.
it's limited to only certain limited selectors. We'll organize the limited tier in order, right?
Yeah.
But Bellion, I think, is worth getting for investment.
His abs probably most
Can't get Ed.
an entire game.
And for
Charles hard to use.
Young and sprite.
God,
that's a tough one. She's PvP only, but when you get into PvP, she's so critical. I'm gonna put her at the front of the line for right now. We might redress this. She's impossible for new players to build. Mr. Elric you can't get anymore. Fallen Cecilia's not worth building. Festive Ida's not really worth it. Shroon's not really worth it. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Well, you mean these units are great?" Yeah, they're great when you are to the point where you don't need to look at tier lists for advice. If you need to look at a tier list for advice, you probably aren't to the point where you're using these.
Green Celine.
Oh, where's Green Celine?
She's above the Landy. I know that helps a lot. Column 3, row 3, I should say.
I'm tempted to put her up here, but I think we'll stick her here. Lilius is a nice unit. Landy is a limited unit. I think early on she's more important than Lethe. Brieg's D tier, right?
Well,
nobody wants her needs Brieg.
Some of the other limiteds into limited tier now, then, so it doesn't. You
who do I have that's limited? That's
blooming Litica. I keep first row, fourth column or fifth column.
Thank you.
You have that and.
Hey, hi, I'm Taka. Hey, I'm Taka. Are you Taka from Baka 7, Taka?
Yeah, you also have DN.
Where do I have DN?
She might be on the right. That might just be people.
Holiday Euphane's limited.
Holiday Euphane, yeah.
Fairy Tale Tenebri is limited.
Yeah.
Festive Ida is limited. Ervelin is not limited.
But I see him so many times, I think he is.
Reese is limited. I get all the other limiteds out. Are there any limiteds left?
Go up.
I think I got them all, didn't I?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and let me see. I would put Cerise ahead of Landy ahead of Ilanov, Biblis ahead of Lethe, Fairy Tale ahead of Biblis, kind of tied, and for Ida because she's cute. Okay. Oh, and Frida. Yeah, Frida to the front. Let's see. Lionheart Sirmia. Solid B tier. Some minor PvE uses. Shu, A tier. Kisei, hard to build. Shu, or Chloe, useless. Laya, very good, even early game. Litica has niche uses. Lilibet's garbage. Hard to build. solid. Lua, hard to build. I think I know you can recommend her. Ludwig, don't recommend her. Lulica, solid ice unit. Luna, limited, probably chilling right here. Abyssal Euphine, I think, is one of the best units in the game. Basar, nobody's using him. Hand Guy is very, very usable.
Gotta hand it to him. Yeah.
Melissa, garbage. Gala, want her. Milam, collaboration. Arunka, not usable.
Alencia's getting her buffs, so that changes things a bit.
Alencia's buff's weird. I'm going to stick her at the front of B tier, and if her buffs go the way we think they go, maybe into A, but right now, is she even B tier now, though? She's C tier now, right? And this could move her to A or B, depending. We'll just put her at the bottom of B for now. Captain Landy, best unit in the game. Luna, other best unit in the game. Blood Moon Haste, other best unit in the game. ML Ken is really just kind of for cheesing Arena and Guild War early on, and that's kind of about it. Oh, Gala's limited. Did I put Gala up here? I think I did. Yeah, Gala. Yeah. Ooh, this is a tough call here. I think I got to put her ahead of Frida. Frida really doesn't have uses out of PvP. Gala's used everywhere. Tywin. Tywin at the front of A.
Just skips needing crits, probably nice.
Yeah. Tywin's tempting to put up here. I think he's kind of on par with Celine for being really important in what he does.
I think the reason you keep Tywin in A is because Tywin is eventually super important and like the most important thing, but in terms of like
oh shit, hang on.
Hang on. Oh yeah, that's why.
Put her. She's definitely at the front of limiteds. Ahmed is a limited and very, very, very hard to gear. I would probably put her down here. Apocalypse Ravi is a solid unit who's usable in lots of places, but middle of B. Middle of B.
Yep. The most middle of B there ever was. Who? Ha is useless.
Model Kana is... It's not about her being free, it's about her being buildable, and I think she's got some uses. She's got some PvE uses, but it's kind of like right there with Ball and Cezanne, right? She's got some limited PvE uses, and that's kind of about it, right?
I'm going to be honest with you, my count is like 3 or 4 years old at this point. I've still never done Golem.
I mean, Golem. She's good in expos. She's good for some early Abyss floors where you need a secondary healer who can also bring damage. Ball and Cezanne, hard to build for new players. Ruel, not really that usable. I don't know, anything with arrays on it is going to have some uses for new players. Sea Phantom Poly, it's a dual attack unit, very worth it. Rimuru is a collaboration unit.
Well, you can't because you need the arty, actually.
Yep. Yeah. Not hard to build. Collaboration. I said get down there with your friends. Collaboration.
You can't make me.
Limited. I mean, her uses are pretty niche. Solitaria, very good unit, hard to build. Says good unit, hard to build.
First of all, you have to get the arty 2 to build, says.
Yeah, if I could put her in a tier above this, I would. That's the first unit you build. Tamarin, yeah, just
that's the second unit.
That's the second you build. Yeah, Rowana, probably the third or fourth unit you build. Summertime Assyria is limited and really just kind of out of the game right now. Shaltir is collab. Shuna is collab. Top model Lulika.
Oh, you actually have another limited there. Ocean Breeze Lulika. Yeah. This is just limited, and then Ocean Breeze Lulika is fucking.
Seaside Bologna. I mean, probably right here. Where's the Ocean Breeze?
I just said
Ocean Breeze Lulika. She can go here.
I said Ocean Breeze Lulika 10 times while
staring at Seaside Bologna.
Yeah. You're not building a rat. You're not building a rat early game.
Nobody builds this. Nobody builds rat early. Vivian is one of the hardest units in the game to build. Strays is a hard unit to build.
Mildred could do a thing. He's first column.
Rand's pretty good. Caval's pretty bad. Vildred. Why don't? That's Violet. Violet, you don't build. Requiem Marana, you don't build. Senya.
I feel like
she's really good to kind of get into things, right? Tehu says who?
Move ahead in whatchamacall, by the way, tower. While you do this, pick your thing and just start the next tower floor.
I mean, we're running a Defiance device now. It doesn't even matter. It's solved now.
No, I'm just saying so that you're not spending overall time.
Vildred, Yuna, Zeo.
Zeo. Well, I like Zahak.
Do we put Zahak?
I like Zahak. No, I think Zahak's actually A.
I think so
he's
too.
A very good early game option for 2 things, right? Obviously, one is the crit chance of like hitting things.
Yep.
I also think 2, he's a good, if you have to use him, Janua baiter.
Yep.
Because he opens up, he does his thing, and then Janua goes into him and he's invincible, and you at least have a turn to deal with him before you get your shit rocked in.
Man, We're gonna go through a lot of garbage 4 stars. Made, I think.
Are you watching Car 6 or not? Right.
We're thinking about her from a late game perspective, from a PvP perspective, but an attack buffer who full cleanses your team and gives you a resurrection buff and brings people back from the dead, that solves all kinds of problems that people might be having. I think if you pull her in your early game, you build the shit out of her. Euphine isn't worth building. Vivian is one of the top units. You build her. Politis, you build her. Fapton, unfortunately, poor Fapton goes down. Ray is not, there's just 3-star healers. You can use Bernard. Twisted is incredibly difficult to build, and even then not so good. Top model's incredibly difficult to build. Sharoon is not really used anywhere early game. Sigrid, you build. Tenebria.
If you put her in S, I'll tell you straight up, I've never used her for anything.
She's really, really, really good early game, but yeah, she's not S. She's basically blue Lulika, and Lulika is Ice Tenebria, right? They're basically the same unit with different elements.
Mui's like a solid B.
I think the Great Mortelix is a solid B. Mui
Smort.
Smort. Hang on. Collab that's never coming back. Collab that's never coming back. Collab that's never coming back. Collab that's never coming back.
Oh, I didn't even know the 4 stars were here. Holy fucking shit. Okay.
God damn it. I still think you build her. Even just at the bottom of B, but eventually you're going to want to do Guild Wars. Eventually you're going to want to do Arena. Eventually want to do RTA. And she's worth having. She's not an immediate need, but she's the best RTA unit in the game.
Operator Secret, you are not building. You're not building Operator
Impossible
Secret
to use unit.
Hera is actually pretty good.
I'll put her right beside Knackwall. Spirit Eye Celine, again for Guild Wars, eventually.
She got revived,
you know. Violet.
Green Violet, the man, the myth, the legend himself. The reason we had to turn off dodge mechanics in half of the boss fights in this game.
But how mustability is? Yeah, what I'm seeing the pattern we're developing here is you definitely build this as soon as you get it. You can build this, it'll be good for your account. Maybe you build this down the road, but not before you address the top 2, and then you never freaking build this unit kind of stuff.
I think in 2024, if you are a new player and you pick Green Violet, a substantial DPS with the ability to dodge, self-cleanse, self-heal, and the ability to carry in some situations. No, hold on. I know you put him at bottom of the A, but I'm arguing that you put that motherfucker straight in his C. He's still garbage. What are you talking? What would you still do with this character? There's 30 other options. What are you kidding me?
Okay.
To C. No
Fair.
usage.
Fair.
Nothing. I was like, I know I was baiting you a little hard there, but I really was like you're still not using this thing.
That's hilarious.
All his benefits, you're still not using it.
So here's the weird thing about Angelica. I'm putting her in B because you build her until you get something better. Once you get something better, you don't care. But early on, she can solve some problems. Dingo is garbage. Kawana is garbage. Poor Aether. Not usable. Inferno Quazus.
Hold up.
No.
Aether shows up every 2 weeks in a fucking TristenWulf video for Hall of Trials. So you know what? That's a B to me. When was the last time you saw a content creator put Green Violet in a video? It's like, hey guys, we're gonna be clearing this content today with Green Violet. How many times will I have to go, well, I guess if you didn't pick up Guide or Aether, you can't do Hall of Trials this week.
Yep. Man, there's a lot of fodder down here.
Whoa. Troublemaker Crows, that's actually a B.
How about I just put him at the top of C and we stop talking about it?
Whoa, hold up. Actually though. So he has a myriad of builds you could do. I like my Troublemaker Crowset at 286 speed. I know some people
that's
can't
fair for newer players.
Yeah. But more importantly, he cleanses, he protects, he counters with a stun. That stun still works in a bunch of PvE fights, and most importantly, he has great synergy with a lot of top tier knight artifacts. I mean, I tried.
It was a good pitch. It really was. Where is Ray? Because wherever Ray is, he needs to be 1 tier higher than Ray. I'll put him here.
Motherfucker put Bernard above Troublemaker Crow. We'll remember this.
Where is Angelica? She goes right above Angelica. Captain Rickorous, no. Carmen Rose
I still haven't built Carmen Rose.
Goes right beside Ball because she's used in a niche expedition fight.
You got a sleeper S tier actually. You got Fire Shuri up.
Oh, Fire. Okay, here's the. Okay, so people are going to disagree with me on this, right? Kitty Clarissa, C tier. Camilla, C tier. You know why?
Why?
Because these units just work. They don't need to be leveled. They don't need to be geared. They don't need to be. You just need. You get them. They work at level 50 just as good as they do at level 60. And this is about should you invest in and upgrade these heroes. You should definitely take these heroes to level 50. Now I'm going to push them up because people aren't going to understand a thing, right? But these aren't level 60 fully molded units. These are like 1 or 2 specific molas. Get them to level 50 and they'll just do their job. They do all of their tricks relatively unleveled. Is this guy not just the worst unit in the game? Smogate really hates it. Same thing with Sinful Angelica. She's in the Just Works column.
I don't think he's the worst unit in the game. That's only because I'm advocating for Roaming Warrior Leo to just do something already. But I mean, it's just compounded by how long it's been, right? Since they found a job. I think Watcher Shuri is fairly. I think you got to consider the skill nullifier. He protects himself.
That's true. That's true. Amiki is a hard one to conscience, right? Right now she's here, but her specialty change could move her up here. Until we see her specialty change in the morning, I got to make a right? Got to make a special tier just for Amiki until we see the results of her specialty change. Because specialty changes, sometimes specialty changes can be, you know, Arrowell and Carrot level, and sometimes they can be
Shepherd Jenna.
Shepherd Jenna level. Claudia, not good.
I still don't know what Shepherd Jenna's SC does.
Nothing. It does nothing. It gave her Frostbite. They did it to introduce the Frostbite mechanic, but she does it in a way that's not impactful.
I'm about to say, I really keep making this joke about I look at a unit, I don't know what they do, but as somebody who officially casted the World Cup, I should probably stop making that joke. I don't know, then again, it's just you only need to know 10, right?
Yep.
Oh, Godmother.
Helen.
Harado does a very important job of spooking you on all your ML5 summons. You know, I still haven't gone to ML5 on that thing. Have you?
Nope.
Yep. I got 4 ML4 Knights today. Doesn't Ian have one use somewhere over the rainbow?
Yep. Yeah, and that use was replaced when Rift came out. I think Loka's worth the build.
Yeah, Loka's actually pretty good. Commander Lorina's another good one, right?
Where is she? That's just regular Lorena.
Is her commander? Oh yeah, there's.
Yeah, they got the specialty changes in here. So I'm trying to dodge Gloomy Rain. No. Nuda, no. Jack, no. Judith, no. Kyrus, actually, I was going to sit right in this pack of works at level 50.
Yep.
That's the wrong carrot anyway.
Ooh, specialty change.
Dorcas
Glenn is here to waste our time. Lucy Lou. Remember when they buffed her randomly out of nowhere and people thought she was going to be story important for like a week?
Yeah.
Like she was going to come back in a big way in the story because she says like one line. She said like one line in her story that made people go like she might be one of the whatever Kairon and Tenebria are.
These are not in any particular order. I mean, except for like 1 or 2 in the front, right? What do you think of Pillis? I think Pillis might have some niche uses, right?
I'm trying to
Yes, no,
think.
maybe.
Well, because we threw
I think she goes right.
Troublemaker.
Yeah, I think she's Crozet level.
I was about to say, I think she's above Crozet only because like you probably want at least one Dark Knight there.
I'm gonna put Mui down
Maybe
here in this pack, but yeah, we really, I hate keeping doing this, but we really need a
works at level 50.
Oops. Yeah.
Please.
Because this is about, you know, must build, must invest in units, and all of these units work at level 50.
You sure you want Fire Shuri at 50? Because he's like your DPS in a bunch of random rate Abyss fights, right? You probably want him 60 just to like.
I can't. Like, I mean, I look up at the A tier and I can't put him up there. And I think in the Abyss fights I used him at rank 50. He works better, much like Terra Nor God. He works better max leveled, but doesn't need it.
Every angel has his
garbage
has his demon. Yeah.
Zealot Carmen Rose because
I mean she's cute. Yeah.
Young Ryun.
Sure.
I can't remember what streamer called, but this one streamer kept calling her Yuner Young. It was the most Kekona way to pronounce it ever. Yuner Young.
Hey girl, Yuner Young.
Yuner Young.
Okay, now you can put all the other versions
garbage.
into the garbage tier, right?
Unbound Knight Arrowell is probably one of the best knights you can get early on, for mitigation, for protection. I think she goes up.
She's
Jenna
the premier mitigation.
Garbage can. Terranol Royal Guard, garbage. Talia, garbage. Talaz, hot garbage. Sven.
Discount MLK
Discount MLK who is garbage. Sonya is it's only one use for Sonya, and that's in Labyrinth, so you don't really need it, so putting her down. Silvertide Christie to replace regular Christie. Carrot. What do you think about Carrot?
I think I haven't seen her in years.
I think right now she's just an Abyss unit. I mean, I'm sure just a Nightmare Raid unit.
Sure. About to say I forgot that she was even used in Nightmare Raid.
Yeah. Yeah, so use so little. I'm just putting her down here at the bottom, right? Suthin, garbage can unit, Disciple, Alexa. This is a tricky one, right?
That was the clincher for my my rate. But here's my thing, actually. Here's my thing, right? I don't think you do it because of how much of a fucking pain it is to get her.
Yeah, I'm going to put her in B. It's a pain to get her, and if you can build her, I mean, once Cigarette became free, her value plummeted.
No, I'm saying you put her in C, because, like, I don't even think...
You think just put her in C?
Buy the side story,
sure, right? I'm for it. I'm for it.
You have to buy this... What new player is spending all their newly earned Sky Stones on that? Are you kidding me?
PP... We'll put her right beside Crozet so they can hang out together. Vanilla... Merc Helga is right beside Ball for her niche PvE uses. Mursa is freakishly good. Mursa is light Rylet, but in a world where just passives are getting turned off, she self-heals, but I'm not sure she brings enough to the new player experience to be worth the build.
I think Mursa's a unit I hear a lot about, and then no one builds.
Yep.
The twinsies. I mean, Thief Ruzid is stealing spots straight into C tier.
Yep. Numinus goes down there.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Misty Chain. People are like, but you can build a Wyvern one-shot with Misty Chain. You can build a lot of Wyvern teams. By the time you can manage a Misty Chain Wyvern one-shot, you're farming Rift. Melanie, no. These are all non-specialty change versions.
You're not even going to put Holy Flame on and on your list?
Gunther, my very first ML unit ever. Still not good. Enot. Commander Lorena. I think Commander Lorena goes to the top.
What about my boy Eaton?
D's... we're not making that joke.
A ton of damage.
Mm-hmm. You know what? There's something to be said for having an Eaton on your team just to... I mean, everybody needs Adam and Eaton in their life.
Yeah. I'm adamant about that, too.
Yeah, remember, guys, this is not a are the units good tier list. This is a are these units worth investing in. Are these units worth building early on? If you get these units, should you make them level 60 and put Molagora in them? And that's why a lot of units who have niche, really good uses, you know, or are just insanely hard to build, are winding up down here.
Mercedes is okay, and Ross is like, I think Ross is a unit you build. You're at the beginning of the game. It's the first thing you get. It's your first night. He's got a defense break.
Yeah, sure.
What are you gonna
He's got a
do?
dual attack.
Right?
You'll want him for a lot of content you got to clear. I think he's worth them.
The problem is I've literally never used Mercedes in this game, but she's better now, and she works in Guild Wars, kind of. So, you know,
Celeste, hard. Sid, hard to build. Chatelaine, not use. Wanderer Silk.
Ooh.
Speed imprint, dual attacks, pushbacks. I think she... Where's Lytica? I think she hangs out beside Lytica.
I think you put Lytica in C, my guy.
Fuck that. Where's Mui? She hangs out beside Mui. Here we go. Leo, not worth it. Veronica...
You're not building Veronica. You have to get to episode 4 first of all.
You have to get to the point where once you get to the point where BBK is pissing you off, you build Veronica. But until BBK is pissing you off, you don't build Veronica. Surin, not worth it just for speed imprint.
Shooting Star Katie's even after her buff isn't.
Yeah. Mercedes is good damage like Ras, but you know, she
hangs out next
niche
to Ross.
farming use. Nah, I don't think she's on. I think Ross is actually usable in lots of places. Mercedes is usable in far fewer places.
Hell Raid! No,
Kawana, Kawazu.
Both of them go down there. Karen is...
Horchata. If it wasn't for Mui, this son of a bitch would be up here. But freaking Mui appeared, and this guy's value, you don't build him anymore. Unless you don't have Mui. If your name is Deity, then you use this guy.
Did he really not score a Mui? Did he just have to go for some old GP tech? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's actually pulled 2 General Purguses and still no Muis.
For some reason?
Corinne is great, too hard to build at early game. Furious, works at level 50. Corinne's tricky. She kind of works at 50. I think she's A tier because Wyvern is so damn important, and she can enable Wyvern.
Yeah, and then you
or do we B tier because that's a niche use?
I think let me put it like this, right? If you were giving a new player, a team to clear Wyvern, would she be on the first team you recommend to them, the second team, or the third team?
Second.
Okay, that sounds like a... If it was the first team, I'd be arguing for us.
She's the first one-shot team. She's the first one-shot team.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah.
The summer skin is Alexa, not Corinne, but oh, that summer skin. That summer skin. Oh, that summer skin was so racy. The GRAC got it nerfed. Free Spirit Tierra. I mean,
she's so good now, right?
Sure, but I mean, you get to build her for free.
Yeah, you get to build her. They give you the resources to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, duh. Of course you build her. She's the front of the S tier. Of course you build this unit because they give you the resources to build her for free. Dominial's not really used in a meaningful way. Crozet is going to be right. Crozet's like one of the first Wyvern. He's probably the best. He's even better than using Momo and Angelica as your front line in Wyvern.
I mean, yeah, I'd argue S, but I know that people don't see the potential in him that I. Thank you for indulging my stupidity.
Carmen is really good, but she's later game. We'll just stick her down here in the middle of B. Sid is really good, but he's later game. We'll stick him in the middle of B. Champion Serato.
The champ. Thank you.
I think you build the champ. You don't really ever use Rin except Labyrinth, BBK.
Gear. I don't even think you want the gear you would have to use Rin. I don't think you want to waste on her. Is the bigger thing.
I think you definitely build a Katie's.
How many times I've seen her in all your videos? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
AOL is just not going to be used.
I'm going to put her down here in B. Yeah. Armin is good counter cleave, but it's so niche. I don't know. I can't recommend it. Alots works at 50. Blaze Dingo is, as much as I love the guy, he takes Giga investment, Giga gear to be Giga mediocre. And the rest of these are specially changed units that are already over here. Wow.
Did you put Chaos? Is Chaos God there? No, you have Chaos God there. You have his SC form.
Oh, Chaos Sect X,
form.
right? And and there's regular. Okay. Oh yeah. So like he goes in the all important
straight to fucking C right?
tier.
But,
yeah, right.
You know, still just straight to C. You know.
Okay, so I mean, who cares? Who cares about can't get, and who cares about the C tier, right? So we just ignore that. So yeah, I think these are pretty good units to invest in if you get them. Not in any particular order. I mean, we could sort them in order of importance, but it's a little bit weird doing that, right? Queen of Abyss, Queen of PvE, Queen of PvP, King of Rift, Queen of Hunts.
And that's the
King of Fighting. So it's really hard to put them in an order of which do you build first, because it's got to be what do you want to focus on? What is your roadblock? What is your content block? Is your content block Abyss? Is your content block Expeditions? Is your content block climbing an arena? That's where you kind of got to know a little bit about the kits and maybe ask some friends, hey, I'm trying to get to Champs Arena. Which one of these units do I build? Oh, you're trying to get to Champs Arena? It is definitely not Tieria, Acades, and Seal Arena. But it's probably Genua. It's definitely Landy. It's definitely Luna and Haste. Oh, I've got issues with Expedition. Oh, it's none of these units if you have issues with Expedition. It's this guy and this girl. So, you know, it's you really got to push into your performance. I miss Pearl Horizon. Man, I'm so sorry. Pearl Horizon is amazingly bad at everything except for early Banshee, and she's not even good there. Oh, there we go. But for a well-rounded account, I don't think there's anybody that would say, oh, you built that unit? What a waste of time for anything in the top row. All these units are worth, you know, putting a lot of investment in. Now, some of them don't need Max Molagora, right? You don't need to do that last S1 on Rowana that gives her extra damage when she S1s. That's kind of silly. Some of them are very specific in their needs, but all of them are worth putting gear on, building, and skilling up in a way to make them useful. So, yeah. Sorry, I misspelled stuff. This down here is more niche, specific, later game, right? These are all really good units, right? Crozet, only really used in Wyvern, but he's great there. Tywin, a little bit more PvP oriented. Selene, just a great Giga nuke or DPS. What do you think? Does Destina go up a tier? I think she does. I think Destina is insanely important at all levels of early play and mid play, and even some late. Arya is very specific, just some Abyss, just some Wyvern. Selene is basically green Genua. Good for certain fights. Arby, if it wasn't for the dominance of Free Spirit Tieria, Arby would slide up, but Arby's uses are lessened with Tieria taking care of most of Arby's PvE needs. He's mostly going to be for your arena defense and some fight, Guild Wars, some PvP. Shu's got some limited PvE usages. Dragonbright, Senya, and Illanov for when you're breaking into PvP. Bologna is solid for in and out of game. These two units are units that you will eventually replace, but early on they solve a lot of problems. Bissell Euphine is one of the strongest PvP units in the game. Sea Phantom Polly's got a dual attack. Vilder's got an imprint. Zeo lets you go first. Good damage. Brings everybody back to life. Speed imprint and damage. Useful on so much of clearing stage PvE and is a great expo unit. I could argue that she works at 50. She works at 50. Auden's free. Why not build her? She's great. Hazel, I'm damn tempted to put Mascot Hazel up here with how often she's used, but she's just an incredibly solid powerhouse unit. Arowell's one of the best knights in the game. Ross is one of the better knights in the game. And she goes here in the midst of the when I'm ready for PvP domination. Level 50 units, most important. Level 50 units. She's free, build her. He's probably the most important for Wyvern. Dual attacks, clearing abyss, CR pushing, lots of damage, some effect resistance, lots of control, being able to cheese, and for Wyvern. And down here, you're getting much more niche. You're getting to the point where you better have all of these units built before you start dipping down here. By the time you start dipping down here, you're building teams, right? You're building not units. You're building comps. You're building teams to accomplish goals. And you'll notice, like, man, if I only had Senya, I'd be able to auto this fight. If I only had Zealot Carmen Rose or Bal and Sazan, I'd be able to handle this this expedition. I think when you reach for units down here, you know that you're ready to build them. So you probably know by now. What I mean by that is when it's time to build these units, you know that it's time to build these units. You don't need somebody to tell you this unit's worth building. You know that this is a unit that's worth building because you feel the need for it. Oh, hang on. She goes up. Holy crap. What was she doing down there?
She was hanging out with the common folk, getting to know them, you know? It's important for a leader to be familiar with her people.
Yeah.
Or else you end up like a politician.
Right. But yeah, you're to a point where it's like you've got an expedition where you know you need one of these units. You're building a one-shot where you know you need this unit. You're building RTA where you know you need the speed imprint. You know that you don't want to get invited to parties anymore, so you want to unleash this unit on people. Did we forget Angelic Montmorency? There's regular Mont. Where'd Amomo go? I think I had her right beside regular. Oh yeah, right here she is, beside regular Angelica. Right, you want to build a specific Wyvern team that's got, you know, Momo or Angelica together, or one or the other. Sure, I still think that you could build that team easier with Crozet than Momo. I know my latest video showed it with Momo, but Crozet's just as good. And that's it. That's about the only place you're going to use these units, right? I guess Momo is pretty nice for cleansing in fights. She is a tour de force healer. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'll put her up beside Zerato. Why not? She's pretty good. Bernard is niche for Rift. RTA, specific uses, really good, but you better have the gear to build her. You probably don't have the gear early on. Niche use, defense, hard to use if you don't have the activators. There's a lot of units here that, like, is this a good unit for me to build? It's like, if you have to ask, then no. You have to ask if this is a good unit for you to build. The answer is no. The answer is build these units, learn more about the game, and eventually you're going to hit a point where you see somebody do something, you see a video of how to beat a floor, you see an RTA match of how to use units together, and you go, wow, I've got all of those units except that one. Well, now you know who to build next.
Yep.
So, yeah. I think this pretty well says it. These top 3 rows are where you want to start. And by the time you are done building these several dozen units, you'll probably be in a place in the game where this row will become obvious to you, and where you'll have the pool of units and gear to start picking the gems out of this column. And there are some gems in this column, right? There are some monsters hiding out down here that will be great when you're able to build them, when you're able to use them. There will be some meta-defining units down here that you will use to just break people apart. But early on, not so much. Where's Montmorency? She's in the niche-specific, like... I just don't want to put her up here. I don't think she warrants being up here. I'm just going to put her beside Crozet, right? DDR, he's on here. He is right down here in the units that once you get to the point in the game where you've got the gear to build him and you're ready to use it, you can absolutely destroy people with them. But people who look at tier lists for advice aren't ready to build this unit. They're not at a place in the game where this unit's useful to them, or they don't have the gear to build him, or both. Once you've gotten to the point where you've built all of these units in rows 1 and 2, and maybe some of the ones in row 3, and you've started to handpick things out of row 4, about that point in time, you're going to go, hey, I'm ready to ruin some people's lives. I'm ready for the doctor.
I'm ready to put some people to sleep forever.
That's why I said there's some fantastic monstrosities down here, but they aren't units that people should be starting to build right out of the gate. This isn't a tier list on strengths compared to each other. This isn't for late game. This is a, hey, I'm a couple weeks in. I need some advice on what units to focus on. This is my advice on what units to focus on.
My only hang-up really with this list is Immortal Wukong. Only because I think Rift is really important, but there's the duality of he's important for this Rift. And he has more uses than He Who Shall Not Be Named, but he's still certainly a lot more limited when Rift goes down. Rift goes down randomly. They just give us an announcement. They say there's 1 month left. But then I'm also being pulled by the fact that we currently have the Otherworldly Gear event going on, and that gear is so fantastic. I know some people aren't so hot on it. I think that gear is absolutely critical. And it's for 2 reasons, right? You pick the set, first of all. So it's an unlimited amount of sets.
How about that? Does that make you feel a little bit better?
Buyer beware, yeah.
Buyer beware. Yeah, because legitimately, in about 3 to 4 months, nobody's going to use or care about this unit ever again. Now, there's a handful of people coping like, no, he'll still be good in PvP. You'll still be able to use him in art. No, you won't. Nobody uses this unit. When people use this unit, they're farting around and having fun. And if you want to fart around and have fun, go for it. But nobody legitimately uses this unit anywhere in the game other than Rift right now.
Because my whole thing is that, like,
don't spend Mulligore on him. If you put if you don't have him and you say, well, I put my Grace of Growth on Sigrid, I'm like, well, that's great. The moment you pull Wukong, you start building your Sigrid, and once your Sigrid is built under the hood, then you take Grace of Growth off of Sigrid, slap it on Wukong, and then you use Wukong in Rift. And then in 3 to 4 months, when Rift goes away, you can take Grace of Growth off of Wukong and put it on somebody else you like. This was a neat topic, and you guys have ideas for guides and videos, let me know in Discord, because this was a good one. I think this will be helpful to people. We just really got to preface it with don't share this around and make it like this is a unit to drop selectors on. This is definitely a like, you don't want to go and use your fully decked out selector on Acades, right? Because you don't want Acades to be plus 15. Nobody needs a DPS Acades, right?
Yeah.
And I bet you money her yeah. Nobody needs 15% additional damage on her S1. That's stupid. That's a waste of 5 mola. So, units who are plus 15 units. Vivian, Steny, Janua, Commander Lorena. Well, Commander Lorena, you can't use a selector on her. She's a 3-star. They have more value than units like Tam, Rowana. Ravi has more, so this is not a who to use your decked out selector on. This is I've got all of these, I've got units on my account. Who do I build? Somebody says, hey, I've got Arya and Fire Ravi. Which one do I build first? Fire Ravi. If you're brand new, she will bring a lot more to your game. I've got Destina and Vildred. You build Destina first. Down here, niche specific. Hey, I'm trying to do Wyvern 13 one-shot. Oh, well, Arya goes to the front of your freaking list. Because she's one of the easiest ways to get into a Wyvern 13 one-shot. But make sure you've got the other units necessary for a Wyvern 13 one-shot, because you'll need specific units and later game gear to build that. And what about Mui? I hear he's amazing. Yeah, he works at level 50. He doesn't need to be leveled. He needs a little bit of stigma and a little bit of gear, but he doesn't need to be 6-star. You don't even max Awaken. Same with Camilla, same with Furious, same with Angelica. All these units work at level 50. Are they better at level 60? Well, of course. Why? What wouldn't be better at level 60 and at level 50? But they're good.
It's like in a car, right? Or it's just like, do you need the newest line, the 2024 Toyota, get you there? No, you're gonna do just fine with a beat up old banger from 2001.
Telling somebody they need to max out everything on Kitty Clarissa is like selling a little old lady who needs a car to go back and forth to the grocery store, and you sell her an F-350 pickup truck. It's just, yeah, it's better than just a regular car for doing things, but it's way beyond what you're going to need her for. Unless that little old lady needs to move a couch. So, yeah, and then units down here, people are like, well, what about Ken? He's amazing. What about Briar? She's meta. I was like, yeah, if you're to the point where you have the gear to build these units, or you are ready to pick these units and put them onto your team, you already know. You already know. It's like, I need to build Light Expedition. You already know. I need to get into RTA. I'm tired of being countered. You already know what unit to build. Hey, I got Zeo, and I want to murder people. You know who to level now. But this is for the people. This is targeted at the people that have been playing this game for,
2 weeks.
I was thinking more like 12 days to 12 weeks kind of range. That's the kind of people that are going to be looking for tier lists on advice to what to do next, right? If you're beyond the 3-month mark, you're to the point where, maybe you ask a friend, but you kind of already know. You're the kind of guy that says, hey, should I build Solitaria or Blaze Dingo? And I say, well, I think you should build Solitaria. And they go, yeah, I guess. I think I'm still going to build Blaze Dingo. I was like, why'd you ask me? You're kind of in that window once you're past the 12-week point. You already kind of know what you want to do, and you're just going to do it. You're mostly looking at tier lists for a little bit of confirmation, but, I'm trying to help out the new people who just started.